It's our Tuesday Night Live review. So we know 2 questions will be answered. Who will face Cedric Alexander at the Greatest Royal Rumble? And will Shinsuke Nakamura's fascination with AJ Styles' testicles continue?
All this and more on Tuesday Night Live. Alright, I dig that. Yeah. Alright, so starting with Smackdown as usual, we had the debut of The Miz. With Miz TV. The Miz. His guest on Miz TV was supposed to be Daniel Bryan. He had this whole thing where he's like, hey, since I've had my daughter, all the hatred I've had towards Daniel Bryan is just washed away. I don't know why Daniel Bryan's so mad. You know, maybe he doesn't have a great connection with his daughter, and Miz being a real dick. But instead of Daniel Bryan, he got Big Cass, and Big Cass went on a promo that wasn't that good. We then found out that Big Cass attacked Daniel Bryan. We found out later on in the evening that Daniel Bryan was like, essentially calling him a coward. Why does a 7-foot, 200 and some odd pound person need to attack someone from behind? So now Daniel Bryan is just real mad at Big Cass, and he's going to prove that he doesn't have to be big at the Greatest Royal Rumble, because Daniel Bryan's going to win. We had a women's tag team match where the iconic duo defeated Asuka and Becky Lynch.
Asuka losing again.
Well, Becky took the fall. Asuka ended up getting knocked off of the apron by
the
Becky.
streak is over, so now she's just a regular mid-carder.
Now she's going to lose all the time. Peyton ended up shoving Becky into the ropes, or into the turnbuckle, and then rolling her up and getting the win.
That's okay, though, because backstage later, Becky was consoled by a bowl of quinoa.
Quinoa, that's all we're there for. Andrade Cien Almas is coming soon.
So is Sanity.
Yeah. And we had Samoa Joe hyping the IC title and Brock Lesnar again, because that's Thomas Wolfe's favorite thing. Naomi told Jimmy that she was going to be out there for his match against Eric Rowan, because last week she saw how dangerous they are. Jimmy told her not to, and she's like, all right. And then Jimmy was losing, and then she came out and she danced, and apparently that is how you win against the Bludgeon Brothers. You just distract them with a woman shaking her ass. I mean, it's not a bad tactic.
It's funny how you have this newly unstoppable tag team, and you find out, like, the whole idea is she's like, oh, I looked into their eyes and I saw nothing. Like, no, what you saw is you saw them blankly staring at you, because the only thing they like more than swamp booty is ghetto booty.
Give in to their primal urges. This allowed Jimmy Uso to beat Eric Rowan in a singles match. We had a contract signing between Carmella and Charlotte for Backlash, which ended with Charlotte smashing Carmella's face into the table and then throwing the table onto Carmella's face after signing the contract. Shelton Benjamin defeated Randy Orton. He defeated Randy Orton after a run-in by a masked Sunil Singh who chop-blocked Jeff Hardy and then got RKO'd by Randy Orton.
This one doesn't make sense when you read it on paper. Shelton Benjamin defeated Randy Orton because Sunil chop-blocked Jeff Hardy.
It's a very weird it's a weird series of events that led to Shelton Benjamin defeating Randy Orton.
Yeah, which is the biggest surprise of the night, to be completely honest.
New Day and the Bar had a promo in the back where the New Day were trying to toast to their successful book, and the Bar ruined everything. And then in the main event, Shinsuke Nakamura and Rusev Day defeated the newly reunited club as Gallows was...
Styles Club,
because Gallows was blindsided by Shinsuke Nakamura.
Then Kinshasa in the back of the head.
Yeah.
Bad day.
And then Carl Anderson took 2 Kinshasas.
Yeah.
And then on 205 Live, the only match we had was the gauntlet match to determine who would face Cedric Alexander at the Greatest Royal Rumble for the Cruiserweight title. We had Mustafa Ali eliminate TJP with an 054. Drew Gulak eliminated Mustafa Ali after dropping him face first on the stairs, and just to add insult to injury, dragged him back into the ring and locked in the Gulak. Gulak then eliminated Tony Nese using his anger against him and essentially goading him into the perfect position for Drew Gulak to lock in the Gulak once again. And then in the final match, Kalisto defeated Drew Gulak with the Selena del Sol and will face Cedric Alexander this Friday in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia for the Cruiserweight Championship.
Yeah, woo.
What did you like about Tuesday?
What did I like?
That's the question that I ask every time.
Shelton Benjamin beating Randy Orton.
That is pretty freaking cool.
Not anything I expected to see this week, let alone anytime on Smackdown.
Yeah.
But yeah, apparently split up Shelton Benjamin and Chad Gable means we're going to start pushing them both hard.
Yeah, they both got really good wins in their singles outings. I liked Iconic Duo versus Asuka and Becky Lynch. I really liked the chemistry that Asuka and Becky Lynch had as a tag team. And then I love the Iconic Duo. So watching them do things, including terribly hokey promos, is fantastic. So more of that all the time. What did you love?
Drew Gulak.
Yeah, Gulak was a beast.
Gulak is in my opinion, he's the unsung hero of 205 Live.
Yeah.
I mean, you have Buddy Murphy, who's the best kept secret, and for some reason, if you can't make weight before your championship match by like a week and a half, you're just completely outed. You know, it's not like he had...
Yeah, because usually, so like taking the weight limit into consideration, you know more about UFC. Don't they do the weigh-ins for UFC like 3 days or 4 days prior to the show?
Mm-hmm.
So
I mean, it's always before the show.
Yeah.
And then whether it's a day or two before or whatever, whether the show's a day or two after the weigh-ins, they have the time to, like, that whole time they're just chowing down because they're putting the weight back on.
Yeah, they're packing on pounds because, you know, they've made it to they've made it to their limit, and now they have a few days to, you know, try and get a little bit more of an advantage.
And like I've even seen it where like somebody didn't make weight and then left and was out for like a half hour and then came back and hadn't made weight.
Yeah, and Buddy Murphy even told Drake Maverick last week, he's like, hey, give me an hour, I'll knock off that 1.5 pounds, because he was literally only at like just over 207 or something like that.
Yeah, and it's like I'm just curious why 10 days ahead of time.
Yeah.
Why was that disqualifying him?
There has to be some personal reason, but he can't make it for some reason.
Probably. I don't know.
There's got to be a travel issue or something of the sort, because
no Australian people allowed in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, that's a...
I don't know.
No women and no Australians.
Well, I mean, the women are allowed there, just they're not going to compete.
Yeah.
Women can only be there in the Greatest Royal Rumble if they're accompanied by a male companion.
Yeah.
In the audience.
Oh, that's true. So, yeah, despite Buddy Murphy, but you love Drew Gulak.
Yeah, Gulak.
He's Drew Gulak.
Yeah, and it's like, he doesn't have to be high-flying. He doesn't have to, like, risk breaking his neck every 10 minutes.
He's a real
in
standout.
A match. Yeah, and he still stands out when you have guys like Metalik and Dorado and Kalisto who are flipping all over the place, and you have Hideo and Tozawa that hit harder than fucking anybody I know. You have Gulak in there who doesn't conform to any of those styles, and still he pops because of how good he is at the fundamental things.
Right. Yeah, it's a nice break away from the idea that 205 Live and the Cruiserweights have to be the flippy look how many somersaults I can do type of thing. It's which
isn't bad.
No, there's nothing wrong with flipping.
Just
and
saying
flying.
the fact that Drew Gulak can stand out not doing that when there are a lot of other guys who don't. Davari doesn't. Noam Dar doesn't.
Yeah.
But they just kind of get tossed by the wayside.
Arya doesn't.
Gulak pops though.
Yeah, Arya doesn't really get a chance to shine. Dar has his moments. Like he'll have like his like soccer kick or like he's got his good.
They all have their own things, but it's just the idea that for somehow Gulak has packaged it to the way that he can get these spots in big storylines, in number one contenders matches, without having to do any of the flashy stuff.
Absolutely.
And I love it.
I loved Shelton Benjamin I loved Shelton Benjamin defeating Randy Orton because it's, not maybe in the same vein as Chad Gables. I want to see Shelton do things. Like, Shelton was a fucking star for a long time in WWE.
Yeah.
And so, when he came back and he was immediately put into a tag team, I was like, okay, this is kind of cool, but I kind of wanted American Alpha and let Shelton Benjamin kind of do his own thing. But okay, I'll get American Alpha 2.0, I guess. So yeah,
I called it the American Alpha upgrade.
Yeah. So I'll take that for a second. But then when they didn't really go anywhere, I was like, man, Shelton's just getting the shit end of the stick, and I really wanted him to do something. So now, with the potential of him beating Randy Orton,
because Jeff Hardy got attacked,
and then the whole the competition that Jeff and Randy are having, which is an interesting situation, where they're both chomping at the bit to face Shelton Benjamin,
which is weird.
I mean, hey, if they want to fight over going against Shelton Benjamin, that's fine. That's great for Shelton Benjamin. You have two top-tier talents that are fighting to face you, and one of them happens to be the United States champion. Mm-hmm. So, after the Greatest Royal Rumble situation is over, if Jeff Hardy is still the champion and he keeps it on SmackDown, I'm looking forward to Jeff Hardy and Shelton Benjamin and Randy Orton getting in the ring. And Shelton Benjamin wrestling circles around both these guys.
I'm calling it right now. 3-way match at Backlash.
I'm down for it. You think they'll do it a week after the Greatest Royal Rumble?
Yes.
All right.
It's Backlash, man.
That's true.
No punches pulled for Backlash.
Yeah.
It's like WrestleMania 2. That's the Greatest Royal Rumble.
Yeah. So it's
Rumblemania.
Okay.
Rumble Rusev Mania.
So other than the obvious, was there anything else that you disliked? Because I think our dislike is the same thing.
Is the dislike Cass's promo?
Yeah.
No. Besides that, I mean,
I didn't have any major issues with the rest of the night. Other than that,
mine was, for me, it was way too blatantly obvious who was going to win the gauntlet.
Yeah.
Which I didn't like because immediately you put the two heels back to back.
Yeah.
And then you left once Gulak and Mustafa, who were essentially, I say, are the number 2 guys right underneath Cedric Alexander.
Right.
When those guys are gone, and you're left with the other 2 guys being Tony Nese, who's kind of bottom of the totem pole, versus Kalisto, an ex-cruiserweight champion, and the longest WWE tenured guy on the 205 Live roster.
Yeah. That doesn't leave a lot to the imagination. But with that being said, man, Big Cass.
Or as I'm going to start calling him, Pretty Boy Colin Cassidy.
I mean, I feel like if he's going to be a heel, he should just be Colin Cassidy.
I don't even care if he's Big Cass. I was like, why... What prompted him to completely try and Chris Jericho himself?
Yeah, the whole segment, the whole Miz didn't even feel like he was comfortable in the situation. And
it was the most random thing. When he came out, he had to put his jacket on and reach into his pocket to pull a watch out to put the watch on.
Okay,
it's never been Cass's thing to be this way. Like, Cass is like kick you in the head and that's it. Like, that was his shtick the last week. He showed up in his ring gear.
Yeah.
Not in a fancy suit with a nice watch.
I can let that slide because in my mind he's like, hey, everyone's got to dress nice in the back. If you're not wrestling, you got to be in like formal attire or tap out. I think is the other option if you want to be casual. And the whole putting the jacket and watch on is he had to take his jacket and his watch off to beat up Daniel Bryan before he took his spot on Miz TV. So like
that's fair.
Like I can push that by the wayside that he was getting ready for Miz TV because he needed the extra arm room to beat up Daniel Bryan.
You don't get a lot of range of motion in a blazer.
Blazer stop you. So that I can understand. But the promo just seemed so forced. Like we're supposed to believe that after, you know, the run that he had with the other guy, and then all of a sudden the failed heel turn, now he just seems like such a forced heel now.
Yeah.
It's sad. Like I want Cass to do good things. I have no problem with Big Cass, but this promo was bad.
Yeah, and I feel the way about Cass that you do about a lot of guys, and I'm just going to use Lashley as a thing.
The make me care.
Yeah,
yeah.
Because to me, Cass has never done a single thing to stand out.
Not since early on in NXT for me.
Yeah, and I mean, even then, I mean, the only thing he had going for him on NXT is he was like the biggest guy on NXT.
Yeah.
Because there weren't very many big guys on NXT. Now, if he were to go back, he'd have to fight with Killian Dane. Cassius Ono, Lars Sullivan.
Yeah.
A lot of bigger guys.
Yeah.
But, you know, he played second fiddle.
Yeah.
To a cruiserweight.
Yeah.
He was essentially the muscle in a brains and muscle tag team.
Yeah.
And then was made to look stupid when they broke up and they feuded.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
and then he got hurt, and now he came back, and now he's just butthurt because Daniel Bryan had a miraculous comeback.
Yeah, and it's just
it's a little forced.
And the story there, there's a story there. It's not a bad story.
No. Yeah, the whole like, hey, I got cleared the same day, but everyone cares about Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, and that begs me to think of like, okay, you were cleared the same day. How come you waited so long before you showed up?
Yeah.
You know, you waited until 2 or 3 weeks after you were cleared to actually do anything. You know, if you wanted the big comeback, come back when you're cleared.
Yeah.
Steal Daniel Bryan's thunder.
It did. Kicked him in the face last week.
Yeah, when the thunder is already gone.
When WrestleMania is done and over.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, well.
I've never been a huge Cass fan. I know he's there because of Vince's weird, big, sweaty man fetish.
Here's hoping that this was just a bump in the road.
Yeah.
And that there are bigger things in the future of Big Cass. But, with that being said, thanks for watching, guys.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
Click those links down below.
So many social media links.
There's a podcast link.
That's the one that says SoundCloud.
You can get this review and all of our regular reviews in podcast form, and there's Reasonable Wrestling Fans.
It's Reasonable with a W.
Like wrestling, where we have some brand new videos such as The List with Kevin Hawk.
It's me.
We have Question of the Week with Thomas Wolfe.
That's not me.
But you're in it.
Yeah.
Because he asks us questions and we give him answers. And, you know, second episode's coming this week, so look forward to that. Also, we have our punishment videos, unboxing videos, and other videos that are loosely based around wrestling. But for now, guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see you at whatever video you decide to watch next.
You know who's, you know who's not going to win the Greatest Royal Rumble?
There's 50 guys. Did you have somebody in mind?
Mojo Rawley or Titus O'Neil.
Oh.
You know why I'm not going to win?
I know.
Because fuck
Modus.